Howdy ho, folks. We're back at it again. Bard's Tale, yada yada. You know the deal at this point. Oh, I think I got a few more episodes in me before, probably gonna have to call it good. Hopefully we can finish this, dungeon during this recording session, because I'm curious. I do want to set this... sounding mean, but I want to set this tree on fire, yeah. I took the time to buy flaming arrows. Can you blame me? Because, you probably should, to be perfectly honest.
On your knees.
Time to get paid!
I feel like that rogue lady is definitely getting paid. In the manner that I wanted to get paid 2 episodes ago. Yeah, she's definitely getting paid. That's a save point right there, but I don't think this goes anywhere. I just opened all of these and I'm just like, come on, tune. Want to see the upgraded tunes. Get that good. See how stupidly overpowered the weakest things I have are going to be after I freaking get their tune again. To add some freaking bump and bass to it. Definitely, I should actually probably have the treasure hunter out just to pick up those seeds, because I think that's exactly last episode what I was saying was happening. Back that
Traps! Right over here!
If you don't pick up the seeds from these enemies, they become new enemies. Which is hilarious, but annoying.
Does it hurt?
Gosh dang. What are we talking about this episode? I don't think there's anything we left off of last episode to talk about, so I guess I'll just use another one of these talking cue cards.
There's a trap.
Beautiful things that they are. Let's see here. Did I already talk about this one? I think I have check marks. I don't know. I don't think I talked about this one.
Fast enough.
Because I have a check mark on it.
Traps! Right
The
over
fact
here!
that an entire generation has, like, lead poisoning explains an awful lot when it comes to, like, how the older generation is acting. Because, yeah, that's,
worth the effort.
really rough. The fact that they all have lead poisoning.
I smell a trap!
Those of you that don't know, yeah, the boomer generation has lead poisoning. It was just in the water. Part of the reason they're not thinking right. It doesn't excuse it, but it's part of the reason. Oh gosh. Yeah, I had a thought the other day too. Specifically about the boomer generation as a whole. The whole, like, hate your wife and, like, devote yourself to, what was it? Nothing but work. Just really cruel views and everything is like the boomers generation version of nihilism. Yeah, yeah, the seeds come up. Yeah, I was right. I saw it that time. Expectation meet reality. There we go. But yeah,
Time to get paid!
and there we go.
Ooh, that looked painful.
Yeah, the fact that boomers are so like, yeah, I hate my wife, I hate life, yada yada. They're just nihilists. It's 100% just boomer nihilism. They felt like they were locked into the American dream aspect before what was it? From the moment they were born, because boomers are the generation that came after, like, the war was finally won for World War II and all that stuff. Oh, okay, another land, dude. So they're kind of forced into this white picket fence American dream, and their weird rebellion of it, besides, like, the 70s drug movement, all that stuff, was just nihilism towards marriage, and I don't think they realized it. that they actually didn't want the white picket fence lifestyle that they were kind of told was what they should want. And they just ended up depressed because of it. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah. At least we're talking American standards. I don't know how other countries be doing. I really don't. But America ain't doing too great with its constant consumerism, capitalistic stuff. It's really not. Really, honestly depressing at the end of the day. Gosh, how high up are we? Huh. Because, honestly, this dungeon's just giving me flashbacks to Golden Sun. It's,
Careful, laddie.
I think there's a dungeon in that one where you're just climbing up a tree that's
Now that was
become
enjoyable.
corrupted or something.
See, you'll
It's an
get a
evil
taste
tree
of
now
my medicine.
by turning other people into trees.
Not even worth the
Just
effort.
funny. Evil tree turned people tree.
Traps! Right over here!
Oh, goodness me, oh my. Up all these seeds. Nope, one hatched already. Gosh, they are really quick about that.
Must stop. Trap!
Spit out needles, too. I'm also getting weird flashbacks to Dot Hack. Why does the Bard's Tale just perfectly remind me of other games as opposed to just being its own thing in a vacuum? That's honestly kind of sad. Something should be able to stand on its own. And the fact that it's not actually is a demerit to it. Like, yeah, oh, that's
easy.
a freaking segue right there. So, like, there's all these, like, indie games, and sometimes they're not even indie games. They're games done by, like, AAA studios that are just trying to sell it via this mentality of, yeah, ooh, it's, worthless. I'm glad I'm getting money again, considering spent that much just getting all this fine loot
Right over here!
at the Viking place. But there's a lot of games recently that are selling on the fact that they're, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to marketing, love letters to older like genres or whatever. The second I see a trailer for a game or something that says a love letter to so and so, I immediately turn off my brain and I don't care anymore. It's such, it's garbage. It really is. Don't get me wrong, you can make games that are reminiscent of classics.
I smell a trap!
You can, but if the entire selling point of your game is the fact that it's meant to be like X or Y genre game back when you thought X or Y genre games were good, it's just you selling nostalgia bait, basically. It's you selling nostalgia bait. It really is. Ooh, token. Glad I came back. What we got here? That's talents. Tokens.
Heavy gloves made from the hide of a badger that imparted some of the animal's strength and ferocity into the wearer. Tragically, they also smelled very much like a dead badger.
I'm so tired of that badger bit.
Talk of silver. This magnificent piece is certain to enhance the appearance of anyone who wears it.
Yeah, I think it's... Is a torque just basically like a bracelet? I don't know. I'd have to look up the definition of torque. Hold up. Let's learn something. Oh, wow. Fancy. I was either correct or incorrect. Wow. Heck tilde out. Maybe heck tilde is just a better healer than that bug thing. When we were seeing against the trowel, the bug thing really was not healing up the other summons whatsoever. But yeah, just like all these nostalgia bait freaking games, and it's like, yeah, let's talk about the one everyone knows, because I am a huge fan of the Story of Seasons franchise, Harvest Moon franchise. I even talked about it briefly in Finny the Fish. Yeah, those are great games. I kept up on Stardew Valley as Concerned Ape was doing development, I was following his blog and stuff. It was wonderful to see him finally get that finished product out there. Never once did he sell the product as, like, you know, a love letter to Classic Harvest Moons. He sold the product as basically, hey, I like farming games. I made my favorite type of farming game of everything I ever wanted from a farming game. There's a different method to that sort of madness and marketing, basically. And I don't even think he ever marketed it like that. He technically just, like, on his blog, that's how he was like, yeah, this is why I started developing this. I wanted to make the game I wanted to play in this genre. Not, I wanted to relive my childhood. And, yeah, it kind of shows how much more passion went into Stardew Valley compared to a lot of these other titles that are just nostalgia bait. They just try to sell, like, that memory of yours and have you relive it. And it's starting to get insulting with the constant references to all these other games and stuff, when it's like, dude, what is your game if not just a series of you remembering funny moments from other games?
On your knees.
Like, what is this meant to be? It doesn't stand on its own. Arguably, although this dungeon reminds me of, what I say, like 2 other games, basically, that doesn't mean this game doesn't stand on its own. It's got weird musical jigs. It's got a crazy old farmer that's got a crossbow instead of a shotgun that you mess with his daughter, which is funny. It's the medieval version of almost getting into a shotgun wedding. You need to, like, just make your way through it. That's funny.
Doesn't feel good, does it?
An old trope redesigned for the medium. Like, and it stands out. I've never seen a freaking crossbow wedding brought up whatsoever in any other media, not even in D&D stories, because that's the setting that would happen. And just have a character player that's messing around, and then turns out he messed around with the farmer's daughter, and the farmer comes up with a crossbow. That's funny. It's a good story, but never came up again. Bard still does stand on its own. Stonehenge keepsake. Just funny because that means there's Stonehenge here. Stonehenge exists both in the real world and this world, as well as
now you know how
that Druid adventure game. That's just hilarious. Pull up the Druid adventure game. That's just hilarious, and I can't remember what the name of it is.
On your knees.
You see that dude's face? That's hilarious. Look at that dude's face. It's a silly face. Anyways, like, yeah, just Stardew Valley was not meant to be the old Harvest Moons he liked. It was meant to be the farming game he wanted. And it's kind of like, what was it? This one actually makes me a bit sad because, like, I don't know where it is development or anything wise now. But my best friend, who's obsessed with horror, the genre, was following a dude's blog as he was developing stuff too, kind of like how I was following Concerned Ape back in the day. And this dude started off just trying to remake Clock Tower, the first Clock Tower on SNES, for, like, modern systems. And, like, the dude went through so many iterations of using new tools and new software, because the tech was upgrading so much, like, so many different builds of, like, his remake of the first Clock Tower.
As
and I think we're in a cutscene.
Met the bard atop the tower. If the bard wished the flame of the tower extinguished, he would first have to extinguish the life of its guardian.
You may have made it this far, but your journey ends here. Prepare to die.
Die? I've got too much to live for. But an old weed like yourself wouldn't understand such things. Time to do a little gardening, I think.
Anyways, it was this dude doing just trying to basically remaster Clock Tower remake Clock Tower, what have you, on a more modern way in English, because the first Clock Tower game, because it's a great series. Clock Tower is really a really weird, wacky, fun series in almost every iteration. Almost every iteration. And just... he kept updating it, and eventually he's like, I know enough about game design to make my own game at this point, don't I, huh? So he started making his own game. And like, it's a trilogy, and the first one's great for what it is. It's obviously like Clock Tower based horror gameplay. You have stalker type enemies. For those of you that don't know, oh gosh, it's a good thing I had that cough drop in between sessions. Throat's starting to act up.
Too easy.
When it comes to the horror genre, there's a few different ways of doing it. One of the ways that you'll see a lot is the stalker-based enemy type. Usually a almost impossible to deal with enemy that your character needs to flee from due to being unable to handle it, at least in that scenario. The one most people know is Resident Evil 3's Nemesis. That's one a lot of people do know. It's very iconic. It's not the first of that enemy type, and there's a lot of games that have similar things. Clock Tower's always been based around that enemy type. And the first Clock Tower, well, the first few Clock Towers are like point-and-click games. So it's very anxiety-inducing as you're trying to like move the mouse attachment on the SNES to get where you need to go, because Scissor Man's chasing you. It's like, oh, creepy. What's up, girl?
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
I bet you'd have said that to any other guy, had any lived to make it this far.
The others
Yeah.
failed in comparison to you.
Looks like most of them were impaled, actually.
Yet you survived the journey up the tower.
Yeah, but I have a few choice words for the gardener.
Stay valiant, my love. You need now go to the second tower, which you can reach by taking a dangerous and peril-filled journey through the mountains.
I don't suppose you have a map.
If only I did. You will need to go back to Kirkwall and see Bove.
Does the term vicious circle mean anything to you?
He's waiting for you and will guide you through the mountains. A different instrument is needed to enter the mountain tower. Bove knows of its location and can help you obtain it on your way through. Be certain to take the Spirit Stone of Han. His power will now be added to your own.
You better be damn rich. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
More than
dude,
you
don't
will be
mess with
able
her.
to
Just
spend
take the
in your
money.
Lifetime, my love. But you must hurry. The next torch must be put out soon.
Speaking
Why?
of putting out,
Hurry, my champion.
Just, at least he's on to like, yeah, you're full of crap. Like, you found her beautiful the first time you saw her with the
I hate it when she does that.
necklace, Adderstone bet.
The bard had no time for rest, for the danger of this tower had not yet passed.
New artifact. 15 stones. Okay. Need new artifact.
Heavy gloves.
I honestly don't know what it means by artifact.
The heroine was deadly accurate.
'Cause, I don't have an artifact tab. As far as I'm aware, there's no other inventory based thing.
Worthless!
Cool. What we're talking, oh yeah, Clock Tower stalker based enemies. So yeah, the first Clock Tower was like point and click. The first three were. Yeah, and my friend's one of those weird ones that likes the weird PS1 Clock Tower. You guys know, if you know Clock Tower, you know the one he's talking about. He likes Ghostface. He's one of like, I think 3 people who like Ghostface. He's one of those. God, this is getting very similar to that adventure game with the druids. Meanwhile, in Kirkwall, is it a wonderful wedding?
Meanwhile, back in Kirkwall, one of the bard's past errors would come back to haunt him.
Oh no, not the old farmer. I love that old farmer.
Bard made me come out here, middle of the night, bloody rain.
Looks like the start to a Donkey Kong 64 boss fight. Wait, why does it feel like that? Oh, no, 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 no. No! Old farmer. No! You had so much to live for. So many debts to pay. Oh, I'm actually sad. I actually am sad. He did not deserve... Like, he's an unreal fart, but, like, legit. He didn't deserve that. Bard, you got some splaining to do, because that's not okay. Don't have any friggin' equipment. Oh, for some reason. Just made me equip my fess. Of course, I'm taking the pants again.
Not fast enough.
I hope somewhere down the line, like, someone in this game just outright calls me out on the fact that I'm only stealing people's pants. It's very weird. Oh, goodness. Anyways, like, yeah, Clock Tower. This game dev dude was, like, doing remasters of the first one over and over, doing it in English. Honestly, wonderfully done each and every time. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna make my own game, you know? It's like, oh, cool. This is a really cool idea. It's a really cool idea. As funky, as fresh. Keep hitting buttons because I was trying to get the map up, and it's just like, no, that's not happening. Oh well. I'll figure my way out of here eventually. Anyways, he started making his own, and like the first one of the trilogy is honestly great for what it is. It's honestly wonderful. It's called like Remothered. That's the name of the trilogy, I should say. It's the Remothered trilogy. Yeah, and this tree's just dead after I killed that dude. This is obviously like we're kind of doing bad. Like, why would a bunch of druids hate me besides me causing issues, you know? So, yeah, pretty certain we're in the wrong.
Death to the bard!
It's honestly right along the usual stuff he does, too. How many times has he caused, like, near genocide?
Too slow.
And, like,
Not fast enough.
the second game of the trilogy basically came out, and it was buggy as all heck, the second Remothered game, which is really upsetting, because, like, it was announced, and then you're like, oh, yeah, when's that coming out? And then it came out, like, a few months before it was supposed to come out, like, before its release date. Just a buggy mess, and it's like, yeah, trying to push updates to fix this buggy mess, and it's like, okay, what happened? What happened, like, game dev and, like, publisher side, that game's out before it's supposed to? Because this was, like, right around the same time, like, what? The whole Skullgirls fiasco was going on, where, like, the devs of Skullgirls got completely
Smell a trap!
owned by the publisher of Skullgirls, kind of thing, if I'm remembering right. Like, just a lot of, like, okay, what's going on? I think,
Does it hurt?
like, there's been a few publishers that have been doing some really creepy, or not creepy, like, just screwed up hanky-panky, screwing over the devs and the people making these games that are passion projects, like, oh, maybe I should do that as a Let's Play. I own a copy of Outbound Ghost.
The stronger the bard
You can't
is,
play
the more
Outbound
damage
Ghost
he can
anymore unless you own a
inflict with melee
copy.
weapons.
You need a physical copy, and it's only physical on the
The bard
Switch.
will counterattack in a circle after blocking, knocking down his enemies, used with the two-handed weapons skill. A powerful charging attack which stuns enemies, used with the sword skill. A deadly charging attack, used with the dual wield skill. A damaging spinning attack, used with the two-handed weapon skill. A powerful spinning attack which stuns enemies, used with the flail skill. A powerful ranged shot which passes through its target, used with the ranged skill.
This is what I was talking about probably a few episodes back, where it's like, yeah, what am I going to choose as a talent? It's like, yeah, these are just nonsense. Yeah, treasure hunter is like more, I prefer kind of like passives, at least for a game like this. Yeah, I can use other weapons, that's nice, whatever, cool. It's just, the enemies aren't enough to have like all these nonsense. Like the parries are nice, because that means just if I block with that weapon, I'm going to hit back. And sometimes you do need to block. I blocked with my bow because I couldn't get it to hit off against like Trow a few episodes back. It's just, what's the point of doing a power shot to shoot through enemies when I could just shoot a bunch of arrows and get a bunch of stacks of flame damage on them? Treasure hunter is just like, what, a 10% increase to every amount of treasure I find. It's like, am I going to get better stuff to buy? I can grind money. Like, do I need treasure hunter? Not really. All this stuff is just whatever. Guess I'll go with power shot because I actually use the bow most often. Once more weird, I usually don't use a bow in games. Gosh. I think I have
On your knees.
one more episode in me before I gotta take a break. Maybe a few more. Who knows? So we'll continue the discussion about Remothered next episode. I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.